You really are. You've been surprising me this past week with your tech
Thank,
savviness.
thank you. And my multitasking prowess.
You are. You're the queen of multitasking. That is for sure.
Yes, of course, the top secret about multitasking is that you don't do anything well. I can do it all.
Except when it's a like this week you got your hair done and you were doing the
Exactly.
spreadsheet at the same time. That was the smartest thing I've ever heard. I mean, I talk my hairdresser, shout out Christina, I talk her head off when I'm there, so I feel like I couldn't focus if
I
I
love
was
that.
trying to
I
work.
bet poor Sarah's probably like, please put your laptop away.
She's like, I want to talk to you. You're like,
Maybe she's happy to have a break from, maybe she's happy to, I don't know. Anyway.
that's so funny. Yeah, they do talk for a while, but
Mm-hmm.
man, man.
Yes.
Well, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Oh
We've
my gosh.
made, yeah.
This week has gone by in a skinny minute. I'm telling you something. It evaporated.
It really did. It really did. Yeah, it's very at the beginning of the week we were talking about copy with MC and who to have on, and we realized that time's going so fast at the beginning of October, and what better time to chat about tactical ways to kind of go into the fourth quarter. So I'm excited to do this with you.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. Yeah, I think this is going to be so good. And I think, just so everybody knows, kind of the impetus for this was that Meg and I were reflecting on last week when we had Jordan, and we really talked about the fourth quarter and what it means to us. I get super pumped about the fourth quarter. And I think that we felt like that what we covered with Jordan was so good and meaty and great, and that maybe we left people wondering about some tactical ways to approach the fourth quarter and to make sure that you maximize it.
Yep. I'm just really fired up because the thing that we're going to be covering today, which we've shared with folks to kind of prep themselves for it, you've always utilized, and you've encouraged us as a team to utilize this 411 sheet. And I'm just really excited to dig into it on a personal level and kind of fill folks in on how we personally attack each quarter, ideally.
Yeah. And that's exactly, I was going to say, I love that you're giving me credit for always using the 411, which I go through phases where I'm really great about it. And what I found is that those are the phases when I have the most clarity and therefore the most productivity and really the most both job satisfaction and general satisfaction with my life. We can all wake up in the morning and just react to all the things that are thrown at us. And at the end of the day, yeah, you've moved a lot of stuff around, you've gotten a lot done, but have you really moved forward on any of the things that you intended to move forward on? And I find that when I'm not purposeful about my day or my week, that I don't. I don't move myself forward. I don't move my family forward. I don't move our team forward in the way that I need to. So,
yeah,
this 411, it's legit.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And before we get started on that, we were talking, we mentioned it with Jordan last week, but what you just said kind of reminded me of it is that shoe in the dryer effect. And I'd love for you to kind of go in, because I know you say that a lot about you're doing all these little tasks when the one task that you need to do in order to feel accomplished or anything like that, there's just one thing. It's a shoe in a dryer, and it just keeps beating it and beating it and beating it. And once you do that, or until you do that, nothing else really matters.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And I think so first of all, I think for those of you that weren't with us last week, just that the fourth quarter, I don't know about y'all, but I love to feel like that I'm ahead of the game, that I'm ahead of the curve, that I've gotten something done before it's really due. And that's really what I think the fourth quarter is about. So often we either throw away the fourth quarter or we actually kind of dig an even deeper hole to climb out of come January 1st. And so feeling like that you have clarity around what you want to accomplish in the coming year. And it doesn't have to be super specific, or it can be super specific. I have friends who are going to run marathons next year, or, people who have very specific financial goals, or, anything that has to do with health and wellness, or apply for a new job, or graduate from college, or finish an important paper. There's all kinds of things that people have on their plates that you can chunk down using this tool. And you can get ahead for next year by going ahead and building some great habits and having some great intentions that you start to follow through with now.
Yeah.
So that's really what this is about. And Meg, the shoe in the dryer, which I love, is basically, and this came from Jordan. This came from, I think it's especially women. Sorry, dudes, but I think it's especially women that I think that we've got a million things in our minds and things that we're responsible for and managing both home and work and family, just a million different things. And they're kind of running rampant in our minds. And it's like, that we've thrown some shoes in our dryer and turned it on, and they're just clunking around in there, making a bunch of noise and stopping us from getting anything else done. So if you stop and write them down and figure out what they are, I mean, a brain dump, you just stop and you write down all the things you've got to get done, right? If you start there, it's really a game changer.
I love that. I really like that. And you're a big proponent of brain dumps and making sure getting all of your ideas out and putting them down. Because Mary Cheatham, you're extremely creative. You're a very creative person. And I feel like you have so many ideas in your brain. And our jobs in the marketing department sometimes are to grab those things and to write them down. And that's what everyone needs to do now with your goals in your personal life and things that you have to do between now and the end of the year. So I'm excited to do this with you because looking at an entire year of goals can be really scary, but we're just chunking down the last 3 months of 2020, right?
That's right. And we're not doing this like big daunting thing of setting your goals for 2021, and it has to be so impactful and so important. We're getting ahead of the game, which makes you just feel good. Mm-hmm. So I know that's exactly right. So just to kind of dive in, guys, the 411 is a document that we use, and what that stands for, if you work backwards, is there's a 411. So it's 1 year, and then it's 1 month, and then 4 weeks. So what you basically do is you take the year. We're going to post the page underneath here for you guys. So at the top of the page, you would write down what your yearly goals are. And then you would take it and you would break it down into what your goals are for that month. So you hold on to your 411 sheet. It's done monthly. You hold on to your monthly 411 for that month. You carry it with you. You keep it on your computer. You tuck it into your planner. You put it on your desk, wherever makes you happy. And then what you do is you take the goals from that month and break it down into the 4 weeks at the bottom. So we've got a sample that we can show you guys, but it just gives you real clarity. I think the first thing I'll say, Meg, I know as we're trying to explain this, I think the first thing I'll say is I think that what I would recommend to anybody is figure out kind of where you're headed for 2021, and then think about where you could be by the end of 2020 that would just make you feel so good and like you're ready to take that on. Or have you fallen behind on anything for 2020 that you'd really love to wrap up and finish out with a bang for this year?
Right. And I love you said this at one point, and I think we mentioned it when we were kind of promoting this copy with MC, but like, what do you need to do for the last 3 months of 2020 to make you feel like you rocked it out? Like, you sit there on December 31st and you're like, man, this year has been rough, but I did these things for the past 3 months and I did as much as I could do to make this a great year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just don't throw it away, and don't go to sleep, and don't, I think that this time of year, the holidays, like they're right around the corner, kind of, although it's beautiful here. But still, we get focused on other things, and you don't do the little things that you could to move yourself forward.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Me too.
So what you would do is you would figure out what are your goals for the final quarter. And we divide our 411 into 4 categories. You can do it any way you want to. Yep. And so
right. It's linked in the comments. Don't worry.
The categories that we use, I switch them up, but the categories that we're using on the copy that we're providing to you guys are personal, work or school, wellness, and finances. You can mark through any of those and change them to be whatever you'd like them to be, but figure out what your goals are for the 4th quarter, and then pull out your October 411 and write on there, break it down. So what would you need to accomplish in October that would help move you forward towards that goal? So Meg, let's do an example. Like let's do you hosting your family for Thanksgiving dinner.
Great.
So that's a 4th quarter. Again, this can be something that is going to either be a source of joy or a source of stress, as for all things holiday related.
Woo!
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about that. So
that would be my personal.
Great. Okay, great. So if you know that you've got to host your family for Thanksgiving, what are the things that are going to go into that event for you, Meg?
I am going to need to prep my guest room first and foremost. Yes.
Okay. And then what else?
I'm going to need a menu. I need to put a menu together. I need to prep food so I'm not cooking all day. Oh man, there's a lot. It overwhelms me. Even just
decorate, prepare. Yeah. And it's not just, when you have guests like that, it's not just about, if they're staying with you, which obviously they are, if they're pre-prepping your guest room, then it's not just about the Thanksgiving meal. It's also about what are you having for breakfast on Friday morning?
Exactly. Exactly.
So what you would do is you would figure out which one of those is your first priority. Which one of those can you go ahead and work on now? It's too early probably to cook. Although you could fix some things and put them in your freezer, breakfast
That's true.
casserole or
Yeah. I'd say prepping the guest room. Maybe
Okay.
that would be my October focus.
Okay, to move you towards your one goal of hosting a great Thanksgiving for your family. Your
Correct.
October monthly goal would be prepping your guest room. So then you would take the 4 weeks of October and break that down and figure out what are some things that you need to do to prep your guest room.
Right. So week 1 could be go around and touch up paint and dust my baseboards and things like that.
Yeah.
And then week 2 could be hang the things on the wall that have been sitting on the floor the whole time. Make sure my pillows make sure I have the right pillows. If I want to refresh anything, go ahead and hit that TJ Maxx pillow section.
Yes.
To get the bed and the things hung. Week 3, okay, I love to do this. This is a small sidearm, but if I have folks staying in my guest room, I like to create like a little welcome section. So I do a little like welcome board that says like, welcome mom and dad, and then like some waters and some, I don't know, gum, like little things that I know that they'll like.
So cute.
That could be
week 3. Of course you do that.
Of course. I mean,
people, I'm like, good luck, y'all. I don't know. Let me know if you need anything.
I'll be home soon.
Yeah.
And then week 4 could be deep clean and get ready, and then shut and lock the door so no one can come and mess it up.
Ooh, that's a smart one.
So just to show it, we'll post an example, y'all, but it's so bright. So on this, I don't know if you can see, there we go. Kind of. So my 4th quarter goals are here.
Yes.
So you would put, I'm hosting Thanksgiving here.
Yes.
My monthly goal, which is this is October, would be to prep my guest room. And then each week's task is underneath there. So you guys can see that on your own copies on your computer, but that's pretty much how we break it down. So you can literally go into these boxes on this 411 sheet and check them off as you do them. Feels good.
I love that. I think that's so good. And so and what we recommend, I think a lot of people, when they use the 411, they want to go ahead and move on to the next month and start to figure that out. But really, to me, I think the key is that you're going to hold on those same 4th quarter goals are going to be, so the very top level of your sheet is going to be the same for the next 3 months, because those are your 4th quarter goals. But it's the monthly goals, the second layer that's going to change. And then of course the 4 weeks, the tasks that you're doing each of the 4 weeks will change as you move forward through the process. So, so for example, so then in November, Meg, I mean, in my mind, you might, well, I guess then in December, you just kick back on that one.
Exactly.
But in November, maybe that first week you do your breakfast casserole, right? And you get that in your freezer. And maybe the second week you plan out your menu and go ahead and order any ingredients that they might not have here locally that you need to order online and have those ready.
Yep.
Or maybe you make a list of the things that you're going to delegate to other family members and let them know.
Hey, Mom.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
I like that a lot. So that would go in the personal column is what you're saying.
Yes.
So that would be our personal one. Now, what do you think about work and school? So that's the next category over.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that could be, prepping for exams, doing a big paper, anything like that. If you're school, if you're in school. And then I think that for work, I mean, gosh, I think that's different for every person.
Yeah.
For us, some of that actually is goal setting and planning for 2021, which is a big job, figuring that out.
Yeah.
We're in the process of reworking some of our systems. We're in the process of moving our database. That's a great example. We're moving our database to a new format, to a whole new software. And that's a big job, because we've got to start by cleaning up what we currently have. Then we've got to export it. Then we've got to move it. Then we've got to retag it. Then we've got to learn the new database system.
That is a great one.
Yeah.
I need to use that as mine.
Yeah, so it feels so overwhelming, but I think if we can break it down and say, for October, for example, Meg, for us, I think our goal is getting our current database cleaned up.
Right.
Right? Because, and then we won't actually migrate over until November. So then November can be about the migration, getting it moved, adding new tags, all that sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a great one.
And this is a really cool, this just made me think of it. This 411 sheet can be used at any age. I mean, if you have kids in high school, I mean, especially with this virtual learning that's happening, even middle school. I mean, I'm sure Sally and Walter would love to fill something out like this, but
Sally using something like this.
But this is applicable to any age. I mean, we can use it. Any littles can use it. It's great.
That's exactly right. That's right. And so then we can move right on to wellness, which, you and I talked about this for the 4th quarter. I mean, I am not a fan of taking something away in the fourth quarter and saying, I'm not going to eat sugar Yeah, you are. Or, or, no alcohol in the fourth quarter. God bless you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that it should be, things that you're going to add, things that you're going to do. I'm going to go for a walk every day at lunch. I'm going to start a meditation practice every work morning. I'm going to start incorporating hot yoga. I'm going to, gosh, I would love to start swimming again. I loved when I used to swim. I mean, whatever it is, oh my God, I loved it. Whatever it is, I just think figuring out water. I'm going to start drinking more water. I mean, it doesn't have to be earth shattering, but think about if you build a new habit. I mean, incorporating water or meditation or something like that into your daily routine, that's just huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think chunking that down into how do you research what you're going to do, figure out what your plan is, and then just start. And I think that you'll find that just moves you. I think just the awareness of wanting to build that new habit and doing something for yourself is so nurturing and so affirming. And I think keeping that something that's wellness minded, as a part of our routine, especially in the fourth quarter, is important.
Agree. And I feel like anything wellness related can often be really scary or super extreme. Like, water as an example. I want to drink a gallon of water a day. And people are like, okay, first day, glug. Second day, no, not happening. So this is a great way if you want to build up to anything. Maybe you want to run a mile in 10 minutes, or you want to walk 2 miles without stopping, kind of thing. That's your goal. And then you break it down by week, and it makes it not so scary. And that's what I really like about this sheet.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah. And then the last category that we normally do is finances. And that can be, anything. If you're saving money for a vacation in 2021, if you are saving money for Christmas presents, if you have any sort of a financial goal that's savings related, that's an obvious one, but sometimes it's not so obvious. Meg, you and I were talking earlier about wanting to learn more about different financial options or opportunities, or get a better handle on your finances. Make a budget.
Yes. That's so fun to do. It's so fun.
Oh my God.
They have some cute little printables. Yeah, they're so fun.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you were, let's take Christmas presents, for example.
Sure.
If you were doing Christmas presents, how would you kind of break that down?
So my goal for all 3 months is to save money for Christmas presents so I can purchase them in December. Most likely it'd be before, but in December. Okay, so in October, my finance fourth quarter goal, save money for Christmas presents. My monthly goal, what would my monthly goal be? To make my list and see how much I need.
I think that's a great plan. And I would go ahead and just arbitrarily start setting aside a certain amount, just because Christmas is going to be here before we know it. So just make a guesstimate, even if you start setting aside $50 a week or something, but make a list and figure out who do you have to buy for.
Exactly.
And then
even
I was
just fired up. I'm so excited.
What are you going to get them?
Exactly. Yeah. But also you could break down your week by, okay, get mom and dad this week. Okay, get the in-laws this week. Get your kids this week.
That's a brilliant idea. So you're not saving, you're actually chipping away at getting it done.
Pretty smart. That's a great way to do it. I'm getting so many ideas right here.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is.
I love that. And
me too.
Again, I think that understanding that you can change those categories to anything you want to is huge. But I think one thing that we want to make sure that we do is creating this 411. Then what you need to do and what you have to do, which is a step that I love to skip, is when you're planning your week, you've got a time block for these things, right?
Can you explain that?
Yeah. So, time blocking your calendar. I think time blocking your calendar is like meal prepping, right?
Ugh.
I know. You have the best intentions, and then, it feels so overwhelming. And I think that time blocking your calendar, just like with meal prepping, the mistake people make is that they try to time block their whole weekly calendar at one time. And I don't think you can do that, because then you get thrown a curveball.
Sure.
But basically what time blocking means is that you would take your calendar, and you can do it in your Google Calendar, you can do it in a paper calendar, whatever it is. You write down all the things that you need to get done, right? You figure out what they are. You do a brain dump, get the shoes out of your dryer, and then you actually figure out how long they're going to take, and you plug them into your days that you have. So for example, I know that first thing in the mornings, I'm the smartest that I'm going to be that day. I get dumber with each hour that passes. And so, what I do is I do the things that require the most of my of my energy and of my intellect. I try to do those earlier in the day.
You talk to me earlier in the day. It requires a lot of energy.
What requires a lot of energy?
You talking to me. You figuring it out.
No,
I'm going to get that done early.
It does not. No, that's so fun. That's so fun. The brainstorming and,
we do that early. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I time block for that. And then, and then what you have to do when you're time blocking too is add in, maybe from 11 to 12, you're going to be in your emails responding to people.
Sure.
Maybe from 10 to 11, you're going to be getting those notes out that you've been meaning to write, or brainstorming about an upcoming ad campaign, or working with some sellers, or, for us, whatever it is that we're doing. But then you have to factor in, a little buffer in between those time slots because something runs over, or you have to return a phone call. Because it's so easy to throw your hands up when you get off schedule.
Right.
But time blocking, we can do a whole segment on time blocking later. I think the important thing is to make sure that when you set up what you're going to do for the week, you have to follow through.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And schedule the time in your calendar to get it done.
For sure. And I mean, with time, I'm not great at time blocking, but I would assume that doing a 411, you can take these little weekly goals and put them right into your time block.
That's exactly what you do.
Yeah, that's neat.
And so I try to time block my calendar on Sunday afternoons for the week. And so what I would do is I would hang your 411. I would hang it right here by my computer in my office. And then I would come in here on Sunday afternoons and sit down with my calendar and time block out the first 2 or 3 days. And what I like to do is to go ahead and put the things that contribute to my weekly goals in the first 2 or 3 days, so I know I'm going to get them done. And if I have to move them, that's okay. I'll plug them in when I time block again in the middle of the week for the second half. Mm-hmm. Then I can put them in there. But usually if I time block for them, I already have them done, and that feels so good.
I really like that. And that encourages you when you're filling out that 411 sheet to make sure that the things you put in the weekly goals are tangible, things you can actually do to get to that end goal. That's awesome.
Exactly right.
Cool. So action items for us and for anyone watching, fill out your 411 sheet just for October, and then you'll do November's at the beginning of November, December at the beginning of December. Your top goals will stay the same throughout all 3 months. So those fourth quarter goals will all stay the same. Yeah. And then your goals underneath it will adjust based on your needs.
That's exactly right. Based on how much you've gotten done. Maybe you're ahead of the game. Maybe you're a little bit behind, but you adjust what you need to get done that month.
Exactly.
Yes. At the beginning. So at the end of October, you'd go ahead and do your 411 for November based on where you are in the process.
Now, Mary Cheatham, what do you suggest? I feel like I wouldn't remember my goals or be reminded of them if I didn't put these in a specific place. Do you have any suggestions on where to put your 411 sheet after you fill it
out? I would tape it right on my wall. I mean, it's so funny. I'm looking right now in my office. I have 10 goals that I'm working on between now and the end of the year that I started at the beginning of September, and I'm working on them, but I need to transition those to a 411 because it feels so overwhelming to look up at those 10 areas of our business that we're working on. I don't have it broken down, right? So I feel like I'm moving forward on all of them, but so this is exactly what I need to do, is to recombine these and figure out, break it down by week. How am I moving myself and us forward on those areas? So that's what I would do. I would tape it right there, because then when you time block, sit in a place where you can look at it.
Exactly.
Some people choose to keep it in their calendar. Meg, what do you do with yours?
Ideally, I'll stick it right on my fridge. I mean, I'm not saying I go to the fridge a lot, but I mean, that's the highest traffic area. So when I walk into my house, I see my fridge. When I leave my house, I see my fridge. So I think that would be a place. I'm staring at windows right now, so I can't see this really doing well over a window. But that would be the most high traffic area where I'd see it all the time.
Well, and what I love about that too is then you're increasing your accountability, right?
Yeah, because
other people, other people will see that and say to you, how's that going? Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
okay,
so that's the key. When you set a goal, if you say it out loud and let other people know about it, your chances of following through on whatever that intention is, it just grows and grows, because you feel accountable to other people when you put it out there.
And I see you doing that a lot, and I really appreciate that, because then that's transparency to see what you're working on, and we love to know what you're working on, whether it's personal or with work or anything like that. So I really love that accountability piece as well. So others can hold you.
That's good. And I love it when people, some of the stuff's private. I mean, some of the stuff you don't want to share with other people.
Exactly.
But I love it when people on our team come forward and say, this is what I'm working on, and this is how I'd love to be supported, and I need a cheerleader, and I need, this is, I think it's such a great tool for clarity for you and for other people on how they can support you.
Absolutely. So we're going to post the link to where you guys can download and print if you don't already have them downloaded and printed, and you can fill them out on your own. And also we'll probably post, we'll post an example as well. I personally like to see examples of how other people fill theirs out, and we'll just kind of fill in a sample. If that
I think that's such a great idea. And let's fill out a sample only for October so that we don't confuse people. Yeah, that we're not going to do November and December yet, but that you would carry over. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds
Yay,
good.
I love that.
Well, that was fun. I love goals.
I hope that this will help somebody.
I think it will. I think it's very tangible. It's visual. It's a cute little sheet of paper, if I do say so myself.
I mean, is anyone surprised? No.
All right. Well, Mary Cheatham, usually we sign off with someone else asking this question, but I want to ask you this question of what's saving your life right now.
I think what's saving my life is just this. I think it's so easy. As I said, this week went by in a flash. Mm-hmm. Yesterday was October 1st. And I think that what's saving my life is knowing that it's up to me, whether or not I'm going to embrace it and say, I'm going to nail this and I'm going to use these tools and I'm going to say it out loud, in front of everybody that, I want to be held accountable and I'm going to have a positive attitude about it. Or I can choose to kind of throw it away and slink out of 2020 like part of me wants to do. But I think what's saving my life is knowing that there are tools and accountability and support available to make sure that I'm being the very best person that I can be and doing the very best that I can for the people that count on me.
Yeah.
Kind of as we finish this out. Yeah.
Wow. Mine is
How about
not
you?
like that. Mine is not like that. Well, I'm just going to follow that beautiful statement with, I hope you know that it's soup season.
Oh, I do love soup season.
And I will post in the comments this recipe. It's chicken and wild rice soup. Yum. And it is the most delicious thing I've ever consumed, and it's healthy.
Oh my gosh. Please. Yes. Where did you find the recipe?
Nowhere else other than the Defined Dish. That's where I get all my recipes.
Oh my gosh. Alex Snodgrass. She's your secret BFF. She just doesn't know it.
If I met her in person, I think I would cry. I will post the recipe, y'all. It's so good. I mean, it's easy. It's good. It has warmed my soul this week. And yeah, it's soup season, y'all.
I really do love a soup because you can eat it for lunch and for dinner. It feeds you for so long.
It does.
Yeah, that's such a winner. That's good. That's a really good one.
Yeah. Saved my life this week. All right, Mary Cheatham, this was so fun. I'm excited to see if anyone fills out a 411. If they have questions, feel free to DM us or comment below. I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah, because if you have questions, probably other people have the same questions. So please feel free to comment any questions, and we'll get right back to you with our thoughts. We are certainly not experts. We probably should have opened with this. We are certainly not experts. This is just a system that has come to work for us, and we hope that it'll work for you guys too. Yes, agreed. Mary Cheatham, thank you. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
You too. Bye.